These journalists, namely Virginia Chilongo and Afies Kaptula, have been crowned winners at the just ended 2022 Media Institute of Southern Africa, MISA, Zambia's 20th Gold and Platinum Media Awards, together with the other journalists from various media houses. Ms. Chilongo has been once again awarded with the Best Golden Award in TV, which she won in 2021 MISA competition, while Mr. Kaptula was for the first time scoped Golden Award Community Media. After receiving the awards, the duo expressed gratitude to the recognition as they promised to work harder than before as they aim to contribute to the development of the media in Zambia. Ms. Chilongo says the award is as the result of the sacrifice she puts in together with the institution which supported her. Speaking at the same event, 2022 Community Golden Award Afies Kaptula has called on fellow journalists to always remain committed towards their duties as recognition come at a time one last expected. Officiating at the event as guest of honor, Swedish Ambassador to Zambia Johan Hangenberg says media is key in enhancing democracy and the awards an opportunity to motivate journalists to do their work. And Mr. Zambia's board chairperson Barnabas Simatende has urged journalists in the country to remain professional at all times in the execution of their duties. Students from the University of Zambia, Unza, Copperbelt University, CBU, and other universities on Saturday morning marched to State House in order to cheer up the government's inclusion of the meal allowance package in the next year's budget. In a letter read by the outgoing regional president Chimuka Simonga, the student population has thanked President Hakainde Hichilema by leaving his premises. The letter has disclosed the need for the government to extend this noble cause to other universities in the country, including private institutions. The letter was received by Levi Ngoma, Special Assistant for Political Affairs and Minister of Youth and Sports, Elvis Nkandu. Others present were President spokesperson Anton Bwalia and Minister of Information and Media Director spokesperson Thabo Kawana. Meanwhile, State House Special Assistant for Political Affairs Levi Ngoma has welcomed the move by the students and has pledged full support from State House. After their submission, all the students were escorted by the police buses to their respective universities. And
These are University of Zambia, Copperbelt University and Nkwame Nkrumah University students, among other representatives from different universities in the country. It is common in Zambia to see these students march whenever they want to air their grievances. But this time the situation is different, as they are marching to the State House to submit an appreciation letter to the Republican President Hakainde Hichilema for introducing the meal allowance in the 2023 national budget, which was removed 3 years ago by the previous regime.
Our letter reads, Dear Your Excellence, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, our letter of appreciation for restatement of meal allowances. We write to your office in our capacity as Zambian youths and more importantly as students of this nation, from public institutions, expressing our profound gratitude for your kindness on the restatement of students' living allowance. And our appreciation of your kindness is not only because they have made promises to us during your days in opposition, but because this component of students' loan is essential, if not the most important, during the campus life of our students. Since this allowance was scrapped off, vulnerable students from public institutions together with their parents, and indeed ordinary Zambians, expressed sadness, and this marked the beginning of tough times ahead of their academic lives. Going forward, us as young people, the students, are expecting that as the economy gets better, in the long run, the president should be able to look at the private institutions. And our suggestion is that it can be better if at some point, maybe in the next 5 years, private institutions also begin to receive this. It cannot be full, but maybe it can be started with 50% to subsidize them so that
And special assistant to the President for Political Affairs, Levi Ngoma, who received the letter on behalf of the President, assured the students that government will do everything they can to make sure that students are in good and healthy environment.
The present and the future going forward, coming to express their solidarity for a good cause. Not many are times in life that people demonstrate for a good cause. Mostly when there's a demonstration, it is mostly associated with something bad. But for a good cause, we can only say thank you to the students. This letter of appreciation definitely be handed over to the president, not tomorrow, but today, so that he knows your appreciation.
And Minister of Youth, Sports and Arts, Elvis Nkando, has this to say.
Our university students today demonstrated that they could even march for the right reason. I think for me that is very, very important. It is again very, very important to note that when you appreciate leadership, what you are now trying to suggest to the leadership is that you need to work extra hard. We are motivated even to do more because of the appreciation of the Please continue appreciating where it is due, and obviously you have every right to criticize where you feel you have been treated well. And I want to also tell you that this is just the beginning. We know you have problems in infrastructure, application of infrastructure, so this is just the beginning. Look even more. Thank you very much for this gesture.
The joy and happiness among the students explains how they were affected after the meal allowance was removed. Margaret Chota, MUVI TV News in Lusaka.
Ndula-based clergyman has called for intensified tutoring of teenagers in the country for them to take the right path in life. Pastor Chifumbe Kapenya of Seventh-day Adventists says with vices such as homosexuality threatening both Christian and cultural values of Zambia, the church should be vigorous in preparing teens for holy and responsible adulthood. Mr. Kapenya was speaking at the end of the Seventh Days Camp meeting for Refidem Seventh-day Congregation in Lusaka that was arranged for teenagers. And teenagers who attended the camp meeting have held Repidem SDA Church for the life-changing event that also seen some of them getting baptized.
The Adventist Church Refidem Congregation in Lusaka West has held a 7 days camp meeting for teenagers. The event has seen teenagers, mostly pupils, mentored in character as well as energized in faith of Jesus Christ. Pastor Chifumbe Kapenya was the main speaker at the event.
But now that you have decided for Jesus, you need to be ready, my brother, my sister, to be able to stand in whatever situation.
Discourses throughout our gatherings here, we were fronting a message that boys and girls need to develop and cultivate a relationship with Jesus. Trusting and obeying Jesus
Progress PEP leader Sean Tembo has expressed concern over the continued detention of outspoken Economic and Equity Party leader Chilufya Tayali, who has been in police cells in the last 4 days. Mr. Tembo has wondered why the police still holding on to Mr. Tayali without charging him for the offense he might have committed. He says the happening current where opposition leaders are being detained without being charged is a clear violation of human rights.
We are here at Chilenje police station in Lusaka again, and we came to visit our brother, Mr. Chilufya Tayali, who has been in detention for 3 days now without any charge, and the police basically stopped us from being able to visit Mr. Tayali. They again, just like yesterday, told us that they are under very strict instructions not to allow anybody to visit Mr. Chilufya Tayali. And from our standpoint, we believe that this is total abuse of office, not only by the Zambia Police Service, but by the New Dawn administration as well. Because when someone is in detention, they are accorded the right to be able to be visited by any well-wisher and to have food or water or anything brought for them. You cannot have someone in custody and you are not allowing anybody to visit that person. That is designed to intimidate that person. And behavior like this has been tailored towards opposition leaders. That is why we have been challenging the president to say, can you ensure that the enforcement of the law is done fairly and equitably? The enforcement of the law should not be designed to intimidate and harass opposition members, especially that Mr. Hakainde Hichilema himself is coming from the opposition.
A man believed to be a University of Zambia UNZA student was hit on Friday by a car along Nangwenyi Road in Lusaka. They said victim was hit by a silver Corolla registration number BAF 181585 at the zebra cross as he was trying to cross the road. The driver of the vehicle fled the scene of the accident, leaving the man behind with injuries.
City of Zambia UNZA road accident that claimed 13 lives and another accident on the Nsamansumbu Road in Northern Province that claimed 21 lives. Road safety has become a great concern among different stakeholders, with drivers being advised to drive responsibly. However, a man believed to be a University of Zambia UNZA student was hit by a vehicle while trying to cross the road at the zebra crossing along Nangwenya Road in Lusaka. The incident happened on Friday, 30th September 2022, and the driver of the vehicle fled the scene of the accident, leaving the man behind with injuries.
You need to visit the hospital first. The hospital, just assist them. Okay.
I want a number plate.
Oh, a number plate.
Yes, BAF 158.
158.
A silver Corolla.
Okay.
Yeah, he even almost hit himself there trying to run away from me. He was about to enter the train.
Yeah.
I just wanted his number plate. I didn't want to change.
BAF 158.
158 silver.
Yeah.
Residents say that drivers who use the road do not give way to pedestrians, despite it being a pedestrian crossing point. The residents have called on the authorities to put up humps on the road in order to prevent road accidents.
I think in 2 months chabe kuli mwana omena anabunka anafa kuyipa eva naferatu mwana muona nacho kumtendere enzo choka kubola so zebra process waipenda
main source here Nangwenya Road is ever busy, it's a busy road. So if the government can help us to put some arms here on Nangwenya Road, it would be really great for that. So we would like the government to help us to put some arms here. So
reporting for MUVI TV News, Celestina Mbewe, Lusaka.
Let's take a break. Stay tuned for more stories.
How to use your home Airtel Money wallet when traveling across Africa. Step 1. Get used to a new place. Step 2. Learn the language and culture. Step 3. Pay your bills in a foreign country using your home Airtel Money wallet. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Fidelity Stores has new items from a brand you can trust, Electromaster.
When looking for electrical home appliances, look no further than Electromaster, a brand you can trust.
Items include blenders, steam and dry pressing irons, mini cooker and ovens, single plate cooker, double plate cooker, single and double deep fryers, 18-inch stand fan, sandwich maker and toasters, rice cookers in all shapes and sizes, pizza pans, gas stoves and kerosene stoves, hair dryers, food processors and electric kettles. All items available at all Fidelity Stores outlets.
Electromaster, a quality product of Fidelity Stores.
Hurry now while stocks last. Fidelity Stores, quality goods, affordable prices.
Falcon Express, Zambia's most reliable courier. Our services cut across the board with special packages for SMEs, corporate and individuals. We offer countrywide courier from as low as 40 kwacha. No need for app downloads. Simply call 0971 130766 or email info@falconexpresszm.com and we will be at your doorstep. Falcon Express, professional, friendly and reliable.
Welcome back. Kembe Constituency Member of Parliament Princess Kasuni has handed over the Constituency Development Fund CDF checks for grants to beneficiaries in Kembe constituency. Speaking at the handover ceremony, the Member of Parliament says she's aware of the complaints that have risen over the delay in the distribution of the CDF, but says plans should continue. She says government is committed to empowering its citizens through constituency development funds and has called on the beneficiaries to prudently utilize the funds granted to them. The event was attended by Chibombo District Commissioner Lloyd Kayeka and Chibombo Council Chairperson Newton Nyeleti, Council Secretary Stanley Mbewe and Our Royal Highness Chieftainess Mungole. Here is a report.
Member of Parliament Princess Kasuni on Thursday 27 September 2022 handed over the Constituency Development Fund CDF checks for grants to beneficiaries in Kembe constituency. The Member of Parliament handed over checks to multi-purpose cooperatives. Among other beneficiaries were secondary boarding schools, skills development, and youth and women organizations.
This official handover of the check signifies government's desire and commitment to improve the livelihoods of the people of Kembe constituency in terms of empowerment and job creation, and indeed the entire country of Zambia.
Speaking at the event, Chibombo District Commissioner Mr. Lloyd Kayeka said he will work hard in order to ensure that all projects in his districts are implemented word by word.
Hakainde Ichilema as the president in the district of Chibombo is to interpret the voices of the government. Also to make sure that I take all the projects which are in my district word by word to make sure that things are running smoothly.
The beneficiaries thanked the government for the grants given to them through the Constituency Development Fund.
ndakoma natata muwinda mulije tetembera bwino akali byantanshi kwenda kwa mwama manje dai wosawo kama itakala olemera manje tisunge bwino banjarado na bana bamasi
and we thank the president who is seeing the people at the ground, not in town but at the rural areas, so that also reaches the rural areas they can benefit more than those who are in town, so that we can match together those who are in rural areas and in town.
With the increased CDF in the 2022-2023 national budget, which was presented by the Minister of Finance and National Planning last Friday, it is hoped that with such initiatives from the government, this may in turn reduce the poverty levels in rural areas. Reporting for MUVI TV News, Celestina Mbewe, Lusaka.
An online shopping company called Lucky Buy has launched its product for the first time in Zambia. Speaking at the launch, Lucky Buy Chief Operations Officer Alex Kimani says the company will provide digital online buying experience to millions of Zambians in the country in the effort of their homes. He says this with only one kwacha a Lucky Buy customer can win various goods. And speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Technology and Science Permanent Secretary, Dr. Brilliant Habenza, Director under the Ministry of Technology and Science, Ms. Sylvia Mlenga, says the New Dawn government is committed to enhance e-commerce.
Lucky Buy makes your dream come true as it is the fastest online shopping platform in Zambia. Make your everyday online shopping experience extraordinary as Lucky Buy is simple, convenient, cost-effective, and responsive. Speaking at the launch, Lucky Buy Chief Operations Officer Alex Kimani says the company has over 100 sales agents across Lusaka and will continue to provide more jobs and highly cost-effective products. Mr. Kimani says Lucky Buy is also looking forward to increasing its effort in corporate social responsibility so as to benefit society with its profit.
There's nothing that has ever gotten me more fired up than the chance to officially start selling and letting customers enjoy the product and service offered by the Lucky Buy E-Commerce Limited. As I welcome you this evening to officially launch our online shopping platform, I take this great pride in informing and reminding you that we are the first only online platform in the country offering such a service. Please, I need clap for that. Our provision of top-class products as at the core of our existence at Lucky Buy, our vision is to have the everyday online shopping experience extraordinary as expected by our customers. Simple, convenient, cost-effective, and responsive. What is special about our platform is that we are making dreams come true with only just one quarter. And that is true as you people have also heard about the testimonies that we have, and we will still have more testimonies as we are going to have more winners coming every day.
Mr. Kimani says Lucky Buy is also looking forward to increasing its effort in corporate social responsibility so as to benefit society with its profit.
And also Lucky Buy is being made available by an intense team of over 100 sales agents across Lusaka, and will continue to provide more jobs and highly cost-effective products. As Lucky Buy E-Commerce, we also look forward to increase our effort in corporate social responsibility and public welfare so as to benefit society with our profit and further reflect the company's social values.
Speaking on behalf of the Ministry of Technology and Science Permanent Secretary, Ms. Sylvia Mulenga says the New Dawn government is committed to creating an enabling environment for the private sector to flourish.
Allow me to start by expressing my sincere thanks and appreciation to Lucky Buy E-Commerce for extending an invitation to the ministry to grace this important occasion. As a ministry responsible for the ICT sector, we are delighted to be part of this event because the application we're about to launch will play a role in enhancing Zambia's transformation agenda through technology. From the outset, I wish to point out that living in a digital generation calls for creativity and innovation to solve today's problems in a proactive and smart way. Therefore, I would like to commend the founder of Lucky Buy E-Commerce and the team for this great innovation that will play a fundamental role in creating citizen happiness. And for those that have been following our Honorable Minister, citizen happiness is something that he has been emphasizing on. So for us as a ministry, this is something that is important. The Zambian government, in line with its digital transformation agenda, is creating an enabling environment for digital services being offered by innovations such as Lucky Buy E-Commerce to thrive. We are ensuring that we have a policy and legal environment that will not only make our digital space safer, but aid the delivery of electronic services and promote a conducive environment for secure e-commerce. The New Dawn government, led by President Hakainde Hichilema, is committed to enhancing the use of digital services such as e-commerce. I must point out that today we are here to witness the launch of an e-commerce platform that is aimed at giving every Zambian an opportunity to afford what we term a dream life.
Reporting for MUVI TV News, Celestina Mbewe, Lusaka.
Minister of Finance Tumbeko Msokotwane says out of the 167.3 billion kwacha total budget, government will spend 9.1 billion in sustaining economic growth in sectors such as agriculture, livestock and fisheries, as it remains the source of food for the people and to increase crop activity. He further mentioned that all the vulnerable farmers will be recognized, as agriculture has played a major role in sustaining the country's food security. Hence, government therefore should welcome and continue supporting the sector.
Kwacha for farming inputs, 789.5 million kwacha for extension services, including the procurement of motorbikes, extension kits, electronic tablets, and the rehabilitation of camp houses across the country. I also propose to spend 426.6 million on farm block development and irrigation to reduce dependence on rain-fed agriculture and support agricultural activities all year round. Further, I've allocated 52.7 million for the recruitment of at least 500 extension officers in the livestock, fisheries and agriculture subsectors. Madam Speaker, I propose to spend 274.4 million kwacha on animal disease control. This will facilitate the procurement of animal vaccines as well as the construction of an animal vaccine plant at Balmoral here in Shanga district. Madam Speaker, to scale up economic activity, I propose to spend 5.2 billion on construction, maintenance and the rehabilitation of various roads across the country.
Take a break. Stay tuned for more stories coming up.
Bet on your luck with 1xBet. Bet on the sports events with 1xBet. Get the tickets and take part in the super cool prizes draw. Bet on your luck with 1xBet.
Are you at home and want an easier and faster way to access and manage your Airtel account? Download the My Airtel app from your app store. Open the app, enter your phone number, click on Request OTP, enter your one-time PIN, and congratulations! You can now use the My Airtel app to top up, pay bills, send money, and much more. Be smart, be safe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
Welcome back. The Domestic Workers Union of Zambia has encouraged its members to familiarize themselves with the law. Union General Secretary Ruth Sakala says this will help protect themselves, as for a long time now, domestic workers have been abused and rights infringed on by their employers. She has encouraged them not to shun seeking for help on the basis of protecting their jobs. National Health Insurance Management Authority Acting Director General Tontela Siwale has bemoaned the low levels of registration to the scheme from the informed sector, especially domestic workers.
employer didn't register you or don't want to register you to NIMA, please, going from now, going upwards, it's individual. You can register yourself as a domestic worker because you have a right. It's a mandatory under the government. And the NIMA is registered through the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. You have a right to social protection. You have a right to have a health insurance scheme through NIMA. And it's very important. I even appeal to those employers who don't want to register their members that it's very important. Domestic workers are workers like any other worker. They deserve a decent work, they deserve a decent health, they deserve a decent right. NIMA, my domestic workers, imamene msenza manyumba bonse. NIMA ni yabwino. Mufunika mwachita register ku NIMA. Like for example, wadwala waenda ku clinic, wapeza ku clinic kuja kulibe mankwala. Nga tulina kadi ya NIMA, ya mankwala, whether ni odula, so kwa nisa yokutu ya gula ya mankwala. Va NIMA, azonga zuna kadi ya NIMA, baza kupasa mankwala yaje. So ma domestic workers bonse muli na ufuru olembesa NIMA mweka. Olwa boss man wakukandilani kulembesa NIMA. Imwe mweka. Endani ku NIMA agents, ma clinics, apa manje bazapanga na kuma booth. Ma places yosi yana. Endani kuka NIMA booth, muzichite register mweka mkazilipia na lipira 1% ija. Which is minimum ni 30 kwacha per month. Wankala full time wa NIMA. Ubuna wa NIMA ni moyo wanu.
The informal economy generally would like to see the ease of registration. They would like us to make registrations easier. They are also asking on how they go about making payments. So provision of payment platforms and also basically increasing on sensitization. They would want to know exactly how does the scheme operate, how do they benefit, where they benefit, and who they can carry on to their plans.
The government says it will soon start selection process of the 2022 resident hunting for purposes in game management areas and open areas across the country. Ministry of Tourism Permanent Secretary Evans Muhanga says government is aware of the importance of resident hunting as it is a key source of acquiring legal game mates for many households needed for food security, especially in the game areas. Mr. Muhanga adds that government through his ministry plans to come up with strategic plans that he says will have a unique selling point for other national parks that can attract tourists. He says this will help the government to know what is where and what needs to be done to improve the protected areas. Mr. Muhanga says all national parks in Zambia are unique as they offer different opportunities, hence the need to understand these dynamics if they are to fully benefit the country. He says this after a familiarization tour of the West Lunga National Park and the game management areas. The permanent secretary during his tour expressed happiness and that the West Lunga National Park was not under proper support from the newly created West Lunga Conservation Project under the support of Trident Foundation Limited after years of neglect. He was, however, not happy with the level of encouragement in the MGA and illicit activities like illegal timber logging, exerting pressure on the animal habitats. Meanwhile, West Lunga Conservation Project Manager Dorian Tilbury said it is encouraging that the government is visiting projects which have never been visited in the last 8 years since the project was started. Ms. Tilbury says it shows the commitment by the New Dawn government to know what is really happening on the ground and the challenges facing the players. The Green Climate Fund, the government has constructed a bulking center in Kazungula district costing an amount of $131,000 United States dollars to be a center of excellence for farmers to market their agricultural produce. The Kabuyu Bulking Center has also been constructed with the support of the Strengthening Climate Resilience in Agriculture, Livelihoods in Agroecological Regions. and projects the United Nations Development Programme Southern Province Agriculture Officer Paul Nyambe confirmed the developments in an exclusive interview with the National Agriculture Information Services in Kazungula. Mr. Nyambe said the bulking centre will be utilised to mop up crops as a marketing centre as it is close to the Livingston-Lusaka Road. He named the crops to be mopped by farmers at the marketing centre as cowpeas, groundnut, sunflower and soya beans, among others. Mr. Nyambe disclosed that the Kabuyu Bulking Multipurpose Cooperatives is the recipient cooperative society. He observed that farmers have been linked to the Mano marketing platform application for them to advertise their crops and attract their other farmers to supply crops to the marketing collection centers. Mr. Nyambe stated that more equipment to process farmers' crops into value addition at the bulking center will be sourced for them to engage in lucrative business ventures at better prices. He further says that the production, productivity, marketing and value addition will answer challenges experienced by farmers in the area.
Already from the way the structures come up, the supporting infrastructure like the borehole, you can actually see that it will be a center of excellence. It's quite close also to the main road. So with $131,000, we are expecting that the work which will be done here will be to bulk a number of crops which do not get the market at the right time. The market has been a very key issue. Whatever production and productivity we are talking about, without marketing, without value addition, so the bulking center is going to answer all these areas, and that will give the farmers confidence in growing more of these more profit and nutrition oriented crops.
Chinga Province Deputy Permanent Secretary Matthews Chilekwa has called for strengthened collaboration and partnership from all stakeholders towards the plan formulation and implementation to build consensus as there is little time left. He says this on Friday during the district presentation of Consolidated District Implementation Plan reports in Mpika Town in Chinga Province. Reverend Chilekwa said that stakeholders should ensure District Commissioner David Siamese's planning is important because it assists the allocation of resources to the needy areas. Mr. Siame not executed and include them in the 80th NDP with the 4 developmental outcomes in mind, and the National F and National Planning before being considered for financing and implementation. Ministry of Finance and National Planning Assistant Director Monitoring and Evaluation, Danny Kafule, says the appraisal of the project is critical to assess the financial, economic and technical viability considered for inclusion in the public investment plan. And now we take a break. Stay tuned for more stories coming up.
Across Africa. Step 1. Get used to a new place. Step 2. Learn the language and culture. Step 3. Pay your bills in a foreign country using your home Airtel Money wallet. Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Together, we can fight COVID-19. Rumpi Enterprises provides you and your organization the safety you require in these hard times of the COVID-19 pandemic by using effective disinfectants procedures such as knockdown and residual disinfecting that helps prevent and get rid of COVID-19. We do knockdown and residual disinfecting procedures for homes, offices, hospitals, churches, and many more. Protect yourself and the people around you and get your business running with our powerful trusted disinfectants. Call Rumpi Enterprises on 0955 767835 or 0955 992230 or come to the 3rd floor, room 3, Tazara House, corner of Dedan Kimati and Independence Avenue. Follow us on Facebook, Rumpi Enterprises Limited. Always remember to observe the COVID-19 guidelines. Mask up, sanitize, social distancing, and staying.
Welcome back. Zambia Air Force Commander Colin Bali says his command will always respond and is committed to development and promote all sports in the country. Speaking during a ZAF Commander's Road Race today in Lusaka, Bali says ZAF supports over 16 Raids Arrows Sports Club, satellites for men and women, and translates over 500 young people employed as professional that effects to improving the livelihood of their families. He says the Zambia Air Force will continue to employ and promote sports for men and women in all sports disciplines. Bali urged athletes to desist from involving themselves in drug use as it damages the talent and healthy career.
And Station Commander, the heads of departments. Special thanks to the Chief of Training for being so instrumental in the organizing of this lovely event today. All station commanders present and those commanding common user facilities, the area councillor, the chairperson, Lusaka Province Amateur Athletics Area Board, Mr. William Madera. The Vice President, Zambia Athletics Association, Lusaka Province Athletics Secretary, Lusaka Province Athletics Executive Members, Director of Sports, Zambia Police Service, the Chairperson, Red Arrows Athletics Club, Senior Officers, Air Force Warrant Officer, Non-Commissioned Officers, athletes from all services and other cooperating companies and clubs. You are most welcome. I recognize and appreciate the presence of the ZAF brass band, your members, dear members of the press, may I say distinguished ladies and gentlemen, and also, but I'd like to recognize the efforts and the enthusiasm of the children that joined us in the 2-kilometer walk/run, and very well done to them, very encouraging. Good morning to you all. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank you most sincerely for turning up in good numbers to witness and participate in the first ever Zambia Air Force Zambia Air Force 12 kilometers road race, and this is the Zambia Air Force Commanders Road Race. It is indeed gratifying to officiate at this event, and this is the culmination of meticulous planning and coordination by the ZAF Training Department and the Lusaka Province Amateur Athletics Area.
News, here are the headlines once more. MUVI TV's Afias Kaputula and Virginia Chilongo scoops MISA awards. And Chilufya Tayali clocks 3 days behind bars. No one is allowed to visit him. Student populace from different universities march to State House to honor HH. And online shopping company Lucky Buy launched in Zambia for the first time. And in sports, Air Force Commander Bali pledges to support all sports disciplines. Thank you for watching. My name is Tracy Mwansa. Stay tuned and do join us at 21:15.
Port Princess. A classic story adapted to modern times, set against an impoverished fish port setting.
Maningning!
Hey!
Hey, Arman! My goodness,
How are
you're
you?
so tall!
Hey,
and you're
ouch.
looking really good, huh?
It is a tale of sibling jealousy, true love, and familial devotion.
Maningning, please forgive me. I love you so